Hello, and welcome back to Mystery Rift. I am David Paulides. Tonight, we're looking at a case that is an investigator's nightmare. A man, his car, and a cold December night, vanishing without a trace. This is the case of Thomas Privetera, a 79-year-old man who disappeared from West Hampton, Long Island, New York, on December 13th, 1981. The conditions were lethal. We're talking about a freezing environment, with police reports calling the weather very, very cold. Temperatures hovering near 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The disappearance of Thomas and his 1971 bronze Oldsmobile is far more complex than a simple car accident. However, it carries the distinct hallmarks of something highly unusual. Something that aligns with the strange, inexplicable circumstances we document in the missing 411 phenomenon. Was this a tragic case of a senior citizen becoming profoundly disoriented in the cold? Or did something else entirely intervene? The victim's behavior and the location of the incident are simply not adding up. Let's dive deep into the evidence and the enduring mystery. Thomas was last seen on Stewart Avenue in West Hampton at 7:30 p.m., heading back to his home on Doris Drive in Mastic Beach. His usual route, the back roads, were dangerous that night, laced with 6 to 7 bodies of frigid water. We focused the search intensely on the simple accident scenario. When an elderly person is caught in dangerous weather, they often make mistakes. We must consider the possibility of confusion or an accidental slide into one of those icy ponds. The initial results were immediate and incredibly frustrating. We cleared several small ponds right off his likely route, finding depths of only 4 to 5 feet. A few locations were a mere 2 inches deep. A 1971 Oldsmobile is a large, heavy machine. It cannot logically be concealed in 2 inches of water. The sheer physics of the disappearance are immediately challenging the accident theory. We moved to the Peconic River. The depth there was a promising 9.5 feet. Our sonar registered a clear anomaly, a distinct object resting on the bottom. The initial hope was quickly extinguished. After careful investigation, the object was confirmed merely an old submerged tree down in the water. Weeds. Just not a car. The environment seemed to be actively concealing the answers we needed. Then came the major obstacle, the sand and gravel quarry. A deep 55-foot waterhole that should be a prime location for concealment. The current owners denied access, stating they know for a fact the car isn't there. This denial is a recurring element in missing 411 cases. Critical areas that are inexplicably inaccessible or cleared by non-official reports we cannot verify. The lack of access to that quarry leaves a definitive, troubling hole in the investigation. We then significantly widened the search circle, moving to Wildwood Lake, one of the few places with genuine, substantial depth. But again, the accessible shorelines were simply too shallow. Only 4 feet, the car, to be there, would have had to be deposited with intentional force, far from the normal access points. The simple accident scenario, where the victim gets disoriented and slides in, is becoming less and less plausible with every location we check. If Thomas Privetera did not slide off an icy road near home, we are left with factors that fall completely outside the normal realm of a solved case. These are the elements that create the missing 411 pattern. Thomas was 79. And while the family believed he was sharp, the possibility of undiagnosed early onset dementia cannot be dismissed. This condition can cause victims to make illogical travel decisions, leading them miles from known paths. But the greatest mystery is the vehicle itself. In many unsolved disappearances, the car is often found abandoned. Here, a massive object, the car was seemingly plucked from the face of the earth along with its driver. Where does a golden 1971 Oldsmobile simply vanish to? Was it dropped into a much deeper, unsearched body of water far from his route? Or was it the focus of something darker? This is where the simple theory dissolves entirely. The family held a chilling, alternate belief that we cannot ignore. They believed Thomas was killed in a nefarious act. They knew he was a man of old-world habits, often hiding large bundles of cash on his person and in his home. He was allegedly lured to Stewart Avenue by a family member and her boyfriend, who knew his routine and his habits. The family suspects a robbery went wrong, escalating to murder and the calculated disposal of both man and car. The critical detail supporting the family's fear is Thomas's travel pattern. He hated driving at night and always wanted to be home before sundown. Yet, and he was out at 7:30 p.m., this change in pattern, this complete outlier behavior, is a massive red flag in our missing 411 research. It strongly suggests an external force, an emergency, or an intentional lure changed his routine that deadly night. We still have key areas to check. The Ford River area near what is now a condo complex was searched by his own son immediately after the disappearance. This location, a previously secluded spot, is the last hope for an accident scenario. And then we have the unexplained information from an outside source. A psychic claims Thomas is in a body of water behind the old Sears in Riverhead. These unconventional leads often point to a logical flaw in the original police theory. The failure to locate the vehicle is the core of this tragedy. It shares a frightening efficiency with other 411 cases where large, distinct items disappear completely. We need a body of water over 10 feet deep that was undisturbed since 1981. If the deeper locations like Wildwood and the Ford River turn up nothing, we are left with the chilling possibility of a planned, non-accidental disposal of a man and his massive vehicle. A case that moves far beyond the realm of simple confusion. Thomas Privetera's family deserves closure. They want to bury his remains beside his wife. The mystery of the missing car and the conflicting possibilities, dementia, accident, or murder, only deepens the rift of their loss. This is the kind of case that haunts investigators. The sheer volume of unknowns, the missing vehicle, and the extreme cold all point toward a perfect storm of an unexplained vanishing. We will continue our search. If you lived in the West Hampton, Mastic Beach, or Riverhead area in December 1981, and you remember anything about a bronze 1971 Oldsmobile, plate number 48710J, or the conditions that night, please contact us. A car that vanishes completely is an extraordinary, almost impossible circumstance. And in the world of the missing 411, it is often a sign that we are looking for answers in all the wrong places. Thank you for listening.